Good morning everyone. This is Vijay Krishna Dharani. I am a chartered accountant. I am the principal mentor of Cavach Academy. So we are one of the best coaching centers for chartered accountancy in Bangalore. So today I just wanted to discuss a few things about cashless economy. So is cashless economy even possible? Is it a reality? Because since we are seeing that because of this corona COVID-19 pandemic, already kind of maybe we are forced to go cashless maybe. Also, if you look at countries like United States and Sweden, Norway, and some of these places, people are very apprehensive. People really do not want to take cash because they think by taking cash touched by someone, probably the virus will spread. Even that's happening. Maybe in India not so much, we're okay with cash, but see, I stay in Bangalore, specifically cities like Bangalore and also advanced metros. Lot of places you don't need cash, correct? Either it's a card based payment, or nowadays especially in Bangalore, everywhere they take UPI, which is either through Paytm application or through Google Pay application. In Bangalore, literally you don't have to carry cash. You can actually survive without actually having cash. So the question is, long run, is a total cashless economy even possible? Like, can we wipe out cash? I mean, I'm not talking about even 100% wipeout. Can we reach close to 95% cashless levels? So today we are discussing about that. So let me tell you one thing. The matter of cash. Since when did we even have cash? We can say, when did human beings invent cash? Okay, so if you actually look at, cash has always been around. Almost since 7,000-8,000 years ago also cash was there. So there is evidence of archaeological excavations finding coins. Okay, these coins were dated more than 5,000 years ago. Okay, so cash was always around. So cash is not something new, and to obviously get rid of cash and go cashless is not going to be that easy. But yes, the coins were the money, but the coins did not last for long, because the coins were heavy, they were bulky, and slowly the coins were becoming costlier because the metal was costly, they were precious. So eventually we moved to paper currency. And even if you look at paper currency, China had paper currency almost 1,000 years ago, not even today. 1,000 years ago, Chinese were carrying paper currency. In fact, China was the country which invented paper. So obviously, they started with paper currency. So we moved almost 1,000 years ago from metal currency to paper currency. So that was already happening. Now another thing is like today, if you actually see, is it really viable to actually use coins as money? Do you know one surprising fact? To the government of India to manufacture a 1 rupee coin, it actually takes 1 rupee 11 paisa. So we are actually destroying money in the process of creating money. And a 2 rupee coin, to create a 2 rupee coin, produce a 2 rupee coin, government is spending 1 rupees 28 paisa. And to produce a 5 rupee coin, they're spending close to 3 rupees 69 paisa. And you have seen those 10 rupees coins which are bimetallic. There is stainless steel also, there's copper also. Those coins, it's 5 rupee 54 paisa to even produce a 10 rupee coin. So isn't it a wastage? Yes. So that is one problem in coins. That's the reason we are already seeing that the coins is going out, and all this data is coming from the government of India through an RTI application, Right to Information Act. Someone has requested this data. So these are not figures that are being made up. This is the reality. Now what about the notes? Are notes cheap to print? Notes are better. If you look at a 10 rupee note right now, a 10 rupee note, to print a 10 rupee note, the printing cost is around 1 rupee. So that's okay. So even a 20 rupee note is around 1 rupee, a 50 rupee note is also around 1 rupee. But when it gets to a 100 rupee note, the printing cost goes to around 1.5 rupee. And when it goes to 500 rupee note, it's around 2.5 rupee. And a 2000 rupee note is around 4 rupee, but still much better compared to coins, don't you think so? Now, this concept of cashless, it's not something new. We have started going cashless around 300 years ago. In the 1700s, economy already was thinking of going cashless, and their formula to go cashless was basically through a bank check. So bank checks are not something new. Bank checks have been there around since almost 1700s. So in fact, in India, we had this bill of exchange system right since Indus Valley civilization. We used to call it Shahjog Hundi. Shahjog Hundi is basically the modern bill of exchange, but India used to have it because trade was always there in India. Even right from if Indus Valley civilization has thrived, that's because of its trade. So we planned to go cashless or tried to go cashless right around 300 years ago. It's not something new to us, but later we even wanted to substitute the paper, because at the end of the day, currency note is a paper, even a bank check is a paper. How to go paperless? We went into credit cards and debit cards. Even credit card, debit card is not new. Maybe in India it's new. In fact, in the US, the debit cards and credit cards were around even in the 1950s, just that the technology was different. Today a credit card may have a magnetic chip, okay, probably a data reader, an electronic data holder. Those days it was just a plain card, but cards were around. Technology was not so complicated, but credit and debit cards were there even in the 1950s in the US. But today, if you look at digital payments, how to go cashless in India right now, you can go cashless in multiple ways. One, yes, of course, your debit credit cards. There's another type of card called prepaid cards. These are people who regularly don't want to use debit and credit cards. You can go to a bank, deposit some money and load a card with money and start using the card until the load is expired, or you can keep recharging with something like a prepaid card. You also have USSD. Majority of us don't use this. USSD is you can use net banking even without actually having internet. It is through message, SMS. So if your mobile number is linked to your bank account, you can do I think it's *99# or something. I have never tried this, but you can actually transfer payments using your normal analog phone. You don't even need an internet capable phone. Of course, then now we are also going cashless through point of sale. Point of sale is the regular swiping, the debit and credit card swiping which you do. And internet banking, of course, each banking website gives you internet banking. Then nowadays there are apps, correct? You have so many apps through which you can make payments. Of course, each bank is giving you an application. We have mobile banking again, same internet banking on the mobile. Most popular, I guess, right now is UPI, bank to bank transfer using your Google Pay or maybe Paytm. That's the most popular. You also had a little while ago wallets, like you had this Paytm wallet and Oxygen wallet and whatnot. Nowadays, maybe I think UPI has become more popular than the wallet. Also, I guess you have seen these micro ATMs. It's not an ATM technically. It's basically the card swiping machine, but it looks like a calculator. I guess some of you have encountered in some restaurants where they just have a calculator kind of a device and they swipe the credit card. So these are multiple ways in the economy right now in which you can go cashless. The question is it advantageous to go cashless? Should we go cashless? That's the question. Yes, there are advantages. One is, I'm sure in your life at least a couple of times, a few times, at least it's happened with me, you have got fake currency, fake notes. Being cashless, there's no chance you are going to get a fake note. Fake counterfeit currency will stop. Similarly, the transaction speed is apparently 15% higher. This is also my personal experience. So many times shopkeepers nowadays do not have the correct change to tender. So if you give cash, it actually takes a longer while for them to give me back my change rather than using UPI. UPI has become actually faster. So 15% transaction speed has come down. Then reduction of criminal activity. That's because there's no cash, so there's no stealing. So that way criminal activity reduces. But of course, it has different levels of crimes, cyber crimes that can now happen. Also, because everything goes cashless, which means everything is happening through banking servers. So your data is getting collected, so there is no more collection of data which can be used for economic surveys. Also, since everything becomes online, everything has a track record, so government can actually better budget every year. Also, the last and final, as I told you, like diseases maybe won't spread, but obviously there are people who debate that there are more germs on a 10 rupee note, lesser germs on a 10 rupee note, and there are higher number of germs actually on a computer keyboard or your cell phone screen. Possibly, But this is one advantage which people are quoting. Now, everything is not rosy. There are disadvantages. One thing, no privacy. As long as you are doing transactions using technology, your transactions, what you purchase, for how much, is getting recorded somewhere, and payment gateways have their access, so they know your tastes, what kind of things you are buying, monthly spending is what. So that is one thing. You don't have privacy. Someone knows what you are buying and for how much you are buying. So also, digital frauds, as I told you, cyber crimes. Then the centralized control, because RBI controls all these monetary transactions. So somewhere, when you're doing an online transaction, you are subject to certain level of centralized control. And then this is another important thing, overspending. When people have to literally take out physically cash and give it to people, they're afraid. But if they have to just swipe a card or just do a button click and money goes, you tend to spend. So obviously, you overspend in a cashless economy. Also, what about all those people who don't even have bank accounts? That's the real problem. In India, there are still so many people. In fact, a couple of years ago, there was this Pradhan Mantri Yojana, which was opening bank accounts for rural folks. But still, there are so many. In fact, a recent case had happened in Norway or somewhere. Some old man was actually giving cash and that it was not taken. So there is a discrimination happening between people giving cash and people not giving cash. So so those are the unbanked people who don't even have a bank account. How do they go about it? So these are the certain disadvantages of a cashless economy. Also, cashless economy is slightly scary, because in an India kind of scenario, if you look at Paytm and Google Pay, the question is, whoever is owning these companies have all your data now. Whenever you use a GPay or a Paytm UPI, they know what you are buying, to whom you are giving, what's your budget's like. All these things are getting tracked. In fact, when you download a Paytm application or a Google Pay application, it asks you so many permissions we never see. We just put tick and accept it. They have access to your photographs, they have access to your emails, they have access to your SMS. So they know all kinds of banking transactions which you are doing. Recently, I remember my credit card company sent me a statement on the email, and probably when I downloaded the credit card company's bank application app on my phone, maybe I would have given permission. 5 days later, it is giving me a notification saying that you have still not opened your email and checked the credit card statement. What does this mean? Which means they have access to my email. So privacy is one huge issue. And also the point is, with whom are you sharing this data? Technically, if you see Paytm is predominantly owned by Chinese and Japanese together. Only a small portion, like around 38%, is Indian ownership. So your data is in someone else's or foreigner's hands. So national security also becomes a little bit of threat. So these huge, humongous organizations like Google and Paytm and Alibaba Group, these people kind of are controlling our data. That's the sad part of a cashless economy. If you even look at PayPal, which was the mother of all payment gateways, do you see Paytm, how similar their logos look? In fact, PayPal had sued Paytm that they copied that logo, almost color coding is also the same. There was a case. In fact, PayPal had even sued Google Pay for a different reason, of course. Of course, PayPal being the first person in the market, they were insecure all these newbies are coming into cashless businesses. So these are the things. But so are we actually moving towards totalitarian regimes? Because that's what all these are. Totalitarian regime is where total current control, everything is controlled by the government. They have access to all your data, all your spending, your buying decisions, your income levels. So are we moving towards those kind of economies where top 10% or top 5% of the people are actually controlling the rest of the 95%? So that is one botheration, that is one thing which we need to keep in mind before we look at benefits of cashless economy. But as you know, we are just moving ahead and ahead. Probably we are at maybe point of no return. Maybe we'll never be able to go back to again fully cash economy. Cashless is the future. But I hope with this video you have now a better idea about what is cashless economy and what are the kind of benefits and the threats it poses. So once again, thank you so much. See you. Bye bye.